Back on the docks in Les Sables d'Olonne on the prettiest boat of all, I think. I mean, Alex Thomson, always a flair for the dramatic, and certainly a guy that makes beautiful boats. HUGO BOSS, the old Veolia, a boat that's won a Route de Rhum, and a super fast, far-designed boat. Welcome to On the Water Anarchy. I haven't seen you in a while. How you been?
Been very good, thank you very much.
Yeah. You know, I was looking up at the statistics in the Vendee Globe village. They put this sheet out with all the different statistics about the past winners, and I found out that no one has ever won a Vendee Globe without having a child.
Yeah, they do say that. Is it one or is it two?
I think you can have one or two. You can't have any more than that, though. So I think you're doing just fine.
Yeah, no, we're by January the boy will be 2 years old. So yeah, we definitely got one.
No, and I mean, obviously we all sort of followed along as with your last Barcelona race, and you couldn't make the start, and then your new baby had trouble with his heart. But is everything fine now?
Yeah, no. When Oscar was born, you know, it was lovely. But then he was diagnosed with a heart condition called a coarctation of the aorta, and they said to us right then was it will either stay the same or get better. There was never any talk of it getting. Oh, sorry, it will get worse or stay the same. And slowly, you know, we took him back every day to begin with, and every week, and every month, and then we were down to a 3-month, and we took him back after 6 months since it happened, and we went in there and they ultrasounded his heart, and they said. They said, we don't really know why, but your baby's got a completely normal heart. And we were like, okay, well, that's great. Okay, so, you know, when do we bring him back? When's the next checkup? And they said, no, you don't understand. No checkup, complete discharge.
Amazing.
Bye-bye, yeah.
A medical miracle.
Yeah, so no. I mean, he was born very small, so my wife is convinced that when he kind of got to the normal birth weight, and, you know, like 8-9 pounds, and his heart developed properly.
So how does that change, does that change your approach to the way you sail this, having a young baby? Does it do anything to your mentality?
It certainly makes it harder to leave. You know, leaving the dock with your wife and all your friends and family there is bad enough. It's heart-wrenching enough. Yeah. But, you know, with a little baby there as well, especially one that loves this boat. Yeah. He loves this boat more than he loves his dada.
Really?
Yeah.
He crawls around it and loves playing with it?
Just loves it. When we left Gosport, he was on the dock there, and we left, and off we went, and he screamed and screamed and screamed. And he wasn't saying, Dada, Dada, Dada. He was saying, Dada's boat, Dada's boat.
But seriously, I mean, you know, you've got a reputation as a guy that pushes boats hard. Okay, we know that. You've got record after record. You've set the 24-hour record 2 or 3 times. You love big, powerful boats, and you're a pusher. But you've had trouble finishing these races. Does having a kid make you... I mean, maybe this is why guys have a kid and then win the Vendee Globe. Does it make you that little bit more conservative that'll let you finish the race?
You know, I think if you go back and you look at all the incidents that people have that stop them from finishing the race, or any race, very rarely will it be down to the skipper pushing the boat too hard. Or it'd be very hard to make the relation between the technical problem and the boat being pushed too hard. Right. So you know, I think it's quite a...
That's more a forensic problem than anything else, though.
Well, it's quite hard to generalize to say the reason the boats break is because skippers push too hard. You know, and I've got a reputation, and you know, it's better to have the reputation I have than one that's slow.
Well, that's it. I don't think you don't mind the reputation, do you? I mean, you like being the guy that's out in the spotlight.
It's better to be, you know, to have the reputation I have than a reputation of someone who's considered slow, for sure.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But you know, having a kid, certainly I'm more aware of the risks than I ever used to be, but to be honest, that's more to do with the grief and the hassles and the problems that we've had. You know, every single problem we've had, we've gone back and looked at the whole thing, and you analyse it and analyse it and analyse it, and at some point somebody has made a decision, usually me, maybe 1, 2, 3 years before, that has essentially caused that problem. So let's look at the keel that I lost. And, you know, I nearly lost my life in 2006. Right. The keel broke. It either broke because it was designed incorrectly or built incorrectly. We will never know which. Right. And ultimately, I made the decision of the designer and the builder. And ultimately, all I can say is that was the wrong decision. Yeah.
Well, and you've taken bold design moves, I think, in the last couple of boats. You know, different boats to the fleet, and some big, I think, big design choices that were different. I think. Then you get this boat, which is, I think, a pretty well-rounded boat. This boat's proven itself over and over again. And I keep hearing people say, Mike just told me on the air a minute ago, he said, you know, I don't think I've ever seen Alex as comfortable with a boat. And he's always had to sort of learn to love a boat rather than a boat that he really loves. Is that how it would characterize you in this ex-Veolia boat?
I've loved every boat I've had, to be honest, apart from maybe the last one. The last one might have loved me, but I hated it. Yeah, I'm really comfortable with this boat now. The last one was too powerful. If you imagine the potential speed of that boat was here and the potential speed of this boat was here, but solo I couldn't sail this one even to there, whereas this one I can sail to here. So this one, essentially solo, is a faster boat. And I sailed on you've spent a lot of time on Anarchy, I see, and that's my old boat. And to be honest, that's where my heart was. That boat was built and designed. That thing is
it's all Alex.
It's a work of art. It's all Gooseheck now. And it was really only this Cows Week when we brought the boat back out of the shed and we did some hospitality sailing. And I got on the boat and I felt my heart wasn't there anymore. My heart's in this one. And I think the nice thing is with this is, like you say, it's all round. It's very rounded. It's not great in any one condition, but it's not terrible in any one condition either. And it's a boat that takes care of you. Bilou has told me before. It's a lot of boats, when it gets hairy, you can't just sort of put the Solent up and relax and let the boat handle you for a while and take a breather. And this boat lets you do that, apparently. So Bilou says. Yeah, I think the boat's still quite wet. All of these boats are pretty fruity. So, but yeah, it's not very. I find it quite easy, having spent the last 18 months sailing the 1K. Where the lightest sail on board was nearly 100 kilos. For me, I can pick up an A3 and chuck it on my shoulder, and walk around on this. So everything on here feels pretty easy to me. What do you think about the new big 1K, the Cheminade boat? I mean, you have a lot of experience with Juan now. What do you think about Juan's design choices leading into a boat like that that's very far at the design envelope compared to a boat like this that's kind of in the middle? I think I've seen that boat on the race course, and I've been pretty astounded by how quick it is. Reaching that thing is nearly a knot and a half quicker than anybody else here. It can be more than 2 knots quicker than we are. So it's hard to say that his design choice is wrong. The boat obviously is, as Bernard said, is set up and it's very hard. And that's what it's going to come down to. Whether he can sail it, it might be this fast, but if he can't sail it anywhere near its potential, then he's going to struggle. And, with Bernard, they were sunk a year ago. The boat was sunk. And it's just awesome to see that boat there now. The credit's got to go to Bernard, but also his shore team. And if Bernard goes out there and wins the Vendee, that'll just be an amazing result for the whole team. Yeah, for sure. Talking about design choices, you've made a bold move, and you've been working with Doyle for a long time. And Doyle, one of our sponsors for this event, we always like to see a little bit different. And every boat here is either North Sails or Incidence, but you're Doyle. Talk about why you chose to go with Doyle and what the Stratus sails do for you that maybe the Incidence or the North program didn't. Incidence is very French and their product's great. It's a D4 product, it works very well. But, when we've looked at changing our sales supplier and we've spoken to them, we just felt for us there was a communication problem. Being English and being French, and we don't speak French very well, and so we felt we weren't going to get exactly what we wanted. North, obviously there's North France that most people use here, and there was the option to use North UK. In fact, we do build some sails from North UK. But the problem there is design. Do you really get an exclusive design? Do you get someone who's really
working with you and your style and your right?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of these guys here work with the same designer in France, and you get the same. Everything's the same shape and the same size, and etc. So a big move to going to Doyle's was to go to Richard Bazet. He's a world-class trimmer. Worked in the America's Cup with the Lingy.
Phenomenal downwind designer too. I mean, his downwind sails that I've sailed with have been amazing.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And the great thing for us is we got him, and we get him for 2 or 3 weeks a year. He's on the boat. He's part of the team. And, we've built a lot of sails over the last 5 or 6 years with him. And, we know what we want. The sails come, they're just perfect. And every time they're better and better and better. So, we feel that we've got something that nobody else has with our sail program.
What about longevity? I mean, the last time around, North had the issues with delaminating sails from water. And what about now? I mean, are the sails now, at this point, all the sails pretty much can go around the world and still look pretty good?
Well, there's two types of sails here. We've got the North 3DI set, and then we've got the laminate sails of D4 and Doyle Stratus. The question of which one lasts longer, well, we'll have to wait.
No one knows yet, do they?
We'll have to wait and see from this Vendee. We felt with 3DI, another reason why not to go down the route was that this boat has always been with a little stretchier sails. stuff that wasn't quite so stiff, and we weren't very comfortable about sticking something on the boat which would then load up every other area.
Worry about blowing out blocks and blowing out clutches and things like that.
So to be honest, if we'd gone to north, then maybe we would have gone down a 3DL route for this boat. For the 1K, maybe it would have been a bit different, but we really wanted to try, and we concentrated really hard on reliability. So to change a year before, when we bought this boat to another supplier would have been a bit stupid. And we really feel that we've got an advantage speed-wise with Richard Bazet.
I'm a little upset that the Doyle's new Clear Stratus that are coming out fairly soon aren't out yet, because I know you'd love to have something that looks so sexy. We've got like nearly clear sails that are coming out that are apparently as strong as anything out there.
Well, the Stratus Ice.
Yeah, exactly. You got it.
And we've been working with Doyle. We haven't had any sales build of it yet, but we've been aware of this project now for 18 months or so.
I
and
love it.
It's exciting, to be able to build a sail that is as strong or stronger than carbon, without the flexibility issues, the breakdown issues. It's very exciting, and I'm sure that product's going to fly.
I hope so. And check them out, doylesales.co.nz. Sponsorship. I think everyone in this game looks at Alex Thomson and HUGO BOSS as one of those relationships that's really enviable. You're with them for 7 or 8 years now, I think, and multiple boats and huge corporate sailing programs, and you jet over to New York, you take out the New York customers, you shoot over to, you're all over the place, and I wonder, we've been talking about how different sponsorship is now to how it was 10 years ago or so, and I wonder, what's your main job? That's the real question, is what's your primary job? Is it to go win races, or is it really just to do what you can do for HUGO BOSS and make them happy and make them a happy partner? And then this is kind of the bonus. You get to do things like this,
Very good question. In the very early days when we got HUGO BOSS, which is end of next year, it'll be 10 years, so it's a long time. It cost us £1 million to get to the point of being able to sign them.
Just to produce the materials and fly and meet people and all this kind of stuff?
Well, no, I was lucky enough to, our business partner in this project is Keith Mills. And so Keith helped to start the project, and we bought a boat and we did 2 races, and we essentially ran the project for a year. So it cost £1 million.
On spec?
On spec. Yeah. He's a great guy for doing. Not many people would do that for somebody. Yeah. But he did that. And so at the end of spending £1 million, you got to say to yourself, this is hard, to find a sponsor is really hard. Yeah. And so, then the real priority was to make sure that we provided the right value for them. And whether that was the hospitality or the PR or the stunts or whatever there was, we provided value as our number one priority. I think where that's changed now in the last 3 years, we brought on Stuart Hosford to manage the business, because the business got to a point where I couldn't run it on my own. Right. And so Stuart's come in, he runs the whole business side, the hospitality, the whole thing, and I'm just devoted to skippering this boat and trying to win races.
And shaking hands and giving talks when you have to.
I still jet out to, this year I've done Shanghai, Hong Kong, and New York. They were the main ones I've done this year. But, in the old days, value for money was up there and performance was probably down here. Right. And now it's much more balanced. And so, the pressure's on for me to perform in this race. Yeah.
Well, if there's ever been one that you're situated to do well in, I think this is the one. You got a proven boat, you got a good sail program, you got a little maturity. You're what, 38 now?
Yeah, I'm 38 now. Yeah. And this has been my supposedly the start of 7 of my around the world races, but one of them I didn't even start. I actually felt, I feel that this is one I could win for sure. Yeah. But the last Vendee Globe, with the boat that came was equal to the boat that came second. I was in for a very good chance then, and of course the fishing boat incident, that was a bitter pill to swallow. But I think all these issues you have, they've made our team stronger. And actually people say to me, what's the greatest thing your team has done? And for me, bringing that boat in here with a 5-metre hole, leaving the mast 3 miles out to sea, 20 metres down, and getting that boat ready and on the start line is the biggest achievement and the proudest thing we've ever done.
Well, this one at least they'll probably be better able to see. Silver, a little bit more visible than black, yeah?
Yeah, no, that looks good, eh? It looks like Luna Rossa have done a similar
thing. Were you surprised to see Luna Rossa pop out with the chrome boat right after you guys showed it up?
Yeah, it certainly seems to be the way to go. We really didn't want to do the full chrome, so our look is more kind of a washed aluminium.
Brushed aluminum, yeah.
Yeah, which you know is great because it shows up in different lights all the time.
She looks gorgeous, Alex, and you know, like I said, you always have the image and the look right. I think everyone knows that. You've always got the speed. I think there's a lot of people really rooting for you to do this one well, and I'm one of them. So I hope you don't mind, but I think I'm doing my form guide, and I think I've got you at number 1. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if that's too much pressure.
Thanks, man.
Man, thank you so much, and good luck, and we'll be in touch for sure. And hopefully, maybe we'll be able to do one of those interviews when you're offshore when they do, and check in with you. But you got a big community, at least on SA, rooting for you.
Thanks a lot.